Birthdays are a magical time. Friends and family come to visit, you get presents, and more often than not, a big, yummy cake to tie it all together. It's easy to go for just a basic cake, maybe just your name on it, but for some people, they have to take it to the next level, with results being not so great. Whether it's a miscommunication with the baker, horrifying execution, or instructions taken too literally, if you think it could go wrong, it's gone wrong. Here's 10 of the worst birthday cake fails. Unless mom ordered a cake for herself, Logan's going to have a lot of explaining to do. The story behind this is apparently a beach and superhero themed party, which the baker seemingly interpreted as something completely different. Funny enough, Wolverine's real name is Logan, so if you want to put it in your own headcanon, you can imagine that this cake is for him. Who cares if it has a combination of both Marvel and DC superheroes? The sentiment, it's still there. Now this is the cake of nightmares. I don't know how they managed to make this abomination, but the way that it's staring at me makes me think it has a conscience, and it feels like it's looking directly into my soul. Whatever explanation there is as to why this rabbit was made so human-like won't be enough, and the creator of this horrific pastry should face consequences for their actions, like being locked in a room with this for an hour and not being allowed to eat it. If I never see this cake again, it would be too soon. From ugly bunnies to ugly minions, this attempt won't give me nightmares, it just makes me think about what my attempt at a cake would probably end up looking like. There's a lot to unpack here, but the more I look at this, the more I realize that I probably couldn't do any better than this. Yes, it looks rough, and yes, most people over the age of 10 could probably make a cake that more similarly resembles a minion, but I have to applaud this person for their effort. Good try. I'm sure you'll get it next time, just maybe don't take a photo of it. Happy birthday to you. Another installation of it's so bad that it's good. This cake has the dubious distinction of being the first on our list that has me wondering if it was intentionally done poorly. Either that or the person who made this still has trouble mixing up their D's and their B's. I have my suspicions about this cake, so if you're doing this again, make it even worse next time. See, now this right here, this is a bad cake that I can tell was supposed to be good. You know what this looks like? Those cutouts that you go and take photos and you stick your head in. Now I know little to nothing about actually baking a cake, but is it so hard to not just make poor Hannah Montana's face instead of just kind of printing her on there? Also, why is her head so small? Look, this person clearly has skill. I mean, they nailed the Hannah Montana font, but sadly for them, while this does have some good and some bad, it's not the best of both worlds. And now we enter into the zone of people taking things literally. First up, a beautiful cake featuring a guitar and a musical note. No, not that musical note. I meant this. Coming so close yet so far, this cake could have and should have been something special, but someone needs to go back to school and learn music, or at least what it looks like written down. Next up on our list is a cake on a cake. Now you might be thinking, wow, that sounds delicious. But what if I told you that it's not an actual cake, but a printing of it? You'd end up with this cake. I think I'm going to have to add this to the intentionally bad list, because if not, I don't understand how someone can butcher simple instructions so poorly. It's easy. Here's cake, make cake, thank you. But even the simplest instructions apparently aren't simple. Feliz cumpleaños. I think that's how you say happy birthday in Spanish. This person didn't have the common courtesy to go on Google Translate and figure out how to write happy birthday in Espanol. Doesn't help that the capitalization is all over the place on this, and it's hard figuring out where the cake actually starts and where it ends. Also, there's flowers for some reason. Don't hate me because my Spanish is less than perfect, but if I were to describe this cake in 2 words, they would be muy malo. You know when you do a math equation wrong and you somehow end up with the correct answer? While this person might not get full marks for their cake, they did somehow manage to spell sherry right, I think. Whether done intentionally or not, sherry with an I is not an uncommon sight. And according to my statistics, most people named Sherry have at least one I. Is this a fun gag towards someone named Sherry who constantly has to correct people on how to spell her name? Probably. Does that make the cake any better? Not really. Congratulations! You made it out of the literal cake zone. Here's your prize. This nightmare spawn. It's a smiley face emoji cake that has seen some serious stuff. The look behind those eyes is one of someone who's seen far too much. I tell you what, if they ever make a baking related horror game, we have our main villain right here. Imagine walking around a dimly lit kitchen and you turn the corner and see this staring you in the face. That's enough to give you nightmares for a lifetime. That's our list of the top 10 worst birthday cake fails. Which of these was the worst, and which of these looks the tastiest? Leave your answer in the comments. And unless I've secretly been a cake this entire time, I'll see you in the next video.